Dave, Graney and Clare Moore, great to see you again.
You too.
Hello.
30 years since the release of the Soft and Sexy Sound album, a gold record achieving album. You're heading out on tour around Australia on October 3. What do you remember about the recording of this album? Did it go smoothly?
I think it did. I think it went pretty smoothly. It was like we were using different instruments, weren't we? Different instrumentation and trying to yeah, sort of experiment a little bit as the album before that one was a bit more of a sort of rock album. So yeah, it was kind of lighter drum sound and a bit for some of the songs and sort of longer stretched out songs. What do you
Different
think?
producer, Victor Van Vugt, who we had known when we left Australia in the early 80s. He left with us with our band, the Moodists, and when he was a teenager, and he came back to Australia, and we thought we'd just have a change from the previous two albums with Tony Cohen, and it was the last kind of. It was the just before digital recording took over. It was still with multi-track into that beautiful AAV studios. It was mostly there, wasn't it?
I
Or
think so, yeah,
mm,
in South Melbourne,
mm.
Armstrong's.
The next one might have been at Platinum or Sing Sing
Mm,
South. Yeah.
yes.
So it was an intense kind of 3 or 4 year period of album tour, and we were we were really kind of on a roll with each one. We were kind of still kind of bubbling under band, but it was a great time in Australian music
Mm.
with Triple J going national with a recovery on early morning Saturday television.
There's
W
quite a lot of television there
yeah,
too, wasn't there?
we knew a lot of the people who put
Mm.
recovery together, like Tony Marnie, who did all of our record covers, him and Bruce Kane and
Clark.
Paul Clark put it together. Lots of people we knew worked on it. It was 3 hours of TV to fill. It's amazing what they did there. And yeah, we were going on Hey Hey It's Saturday, and there was like Club Buggery with Roy and HG, so much live TV. There was
You were on that a lot.
El McFeast show. I think we went
Cool.
on Steve Vizard's show
Yeah.
in the in just a couple of years
There
before
was
this.
Andrew Denton's
And
show
Denton,
and Sean McAuliffe's show. There was like, oh,
mm,
well, that was a bit later, but yeah.
Bert Newton,
Bert
and
Newton's show in the morning.
because we never got played much on commercial radio, but we were able to just try all these other ways to get to people, outside of playing live gigs, So television was very good.
Yeah, people really clocked you in the street when you were on TV. Like the next day, you'd notice that, oh, I must have been watching Bert.
What was your Hey Hey It's Saturday experience? What are your memories of that?
We went on there several times, actually. It was a really well organized show. And that was, again, a long show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a strange environment because it was in it's now apartments where it was. All those TV studios, stages don't exist anymore, but the Channel 9 one was really a lot of kind of seemed to be like temporary porter cabin type
The,
things.
the,
And
the band rooms, the dressing rooms was like a bit of a rabbit warren, low ceiling. Not the studio, that was quite big, but yeah, the dressing room area was kind of strange in that way. It's very old.
you walk down a hallway of, all their current kind of on-air stars, and they were the first time you went on, all their cast regulars would come out with their double-breasted suits to kind of put you in your place in a way. They were very competitive Channel 9,
Yeah, totally.
types,
Mm.
but if you're in that world, you have to kind of deal with it.
Mm.
So getting to the music on this album, it begins with The Birds and Goats, which is a very soft and sexy way to start an album. Certainly not a banger as the kids would call it these days. What were the influences for this? Were you channeling a bit of Barry White?
Well, Claire was collecting all these records when we were touring more regional areas, and we were listening to, yeah, we were buying lots of Barry White albums, although we always liked his stuff, Isaac Hayes, and we and more contemporary stuff. There was a lot around that trip hop, tricky, massive attack scene coming out of the UK that sampled Isaac Hayes and Portishead sampled Lalo Schifrin. Claire was buying all these kinds of records, and we were listening to them for the textures. In the early 90s, we really loved Katie Lang's Ingenue. It was everywhere. And one of those records that was so big, the artist could never repeat it, in her case, but it was full of beautifully arranged songs with textures, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing production.
Yeah.
When you say the Birds and Goats starts it off, we're going to do this tour doing the album in the exact set, the exact configuration, and then we can do one set of the album, then another set of other songs. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge to start out a show so softly. We wait to see how that's going to go.
I don't think we've done it before.
No.
Apollo 69 has a bit going on sonically. Is that do you go back and listen to the record and think, what pedal did I use on that? Where is that pedal?
Well, I never played any guitar, and it's all Rod Hayward, and he wrote the music for that song. And he jokingly said he wanted to get away from all the cheesy major seventh chords that I was making him play.
He wanted to play slide.
Yeah, he wanted to, do something rocking. Everybody pretty much wrote the music for a song on the album. And Robin, yeah, we used this Moog synthesizer for that song, and we were rehearsing, and Robin's got a iPad Moog, and he found the exact same noise for it, and the sample is called Hawkwind because I think it's for the sound that's on Hawkwind's Silver Machine.
Yeah. Ripping off the best.
You mentioned slide guitar on that track. It's some great slide parts. Who were the slide players that you admire?
Oh, that's all Rod Hayward. Yeah, I never played any guitar in the Coral Snakes era. I don't know. Rod's a classic player. You'd have to ask him. I know he loved Stevie Ray Vaughan and
you played slide a
Steve
bit in the last few years. So who is you?
Yeah, I've done it myself. Well, I love to personally, and I'm not playing any guitar on this tour. I love to listen to Muddy Waters because he had a tricked up Telecaster and he was have such a super trebly sound. I love Lowell George because he had some secret way of heaps of compression, so he'd have a clean sound with a beautiful sustain. But from my teenage years, I loved Hound Dog Taylor, and I loved Elmore James, and Brian Jones on Little Red Rooster is beautiful, and on No Expectations. But Dwayne Allman on a song called Dreams by the Allman Brothers. Yeah.
In general, at what point are the drums laid down, Claire?
Always at the beginning. It's the only way to do it.
Just
sometimes, I have played drums later on songs, and I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Yeah, it's best to just rehearse the songs up, and then put the drums down first, and then everything lays on top of that. Or better still, play live together. Like at least put down the bass and drums together or something like that.
Was there anything about this album that you recall with the drum?
We did a lot of moving the drum kit around in the studio. I guess we had a bit of time, although, back then studios were incredibly expensive. I had a drum tech, and sometimes the, producer Victor would get the drum tech to retune the drums for each song and try and get, in the right key almost. Or move it around the room just to get a different sound and stuff like that. So it was a bit of experimentation there, and I had I had a really great, I think the drum tech actually sold it to me. It was a really deep Brady snare, you know, from Western Australia, made of jarrah, which I don't think they use anymore. And that was really great to use that too. Yeah, so it was just sort of a bit more experimentation, I guess.
Otherwise, it's your Gretsch kit, isn't it?
Yeah, I always use my Gretsch kit that I bought in London in 1983. And it has a 24-inch bass drum and 18-inch floor tom that's really huge. So it's sort of like something,
It's like
maybe John Bonham would use or something.
Just records really well.
Yeah, it's lovely. It has a beautiful booming sort of sound, and it really works with slow and sort of more quiet songs too.
Dave, you've called the Soft and Sexy album the sound of a Shelby GT 500. We've referred to other albums as Monaro, GTS, Statesman, Caprice. What form of transport will you actually be using on this tour?
Well, a Shelby GT500 was Jim Morrison's car, and he's filmed driving it, and it's a great mystery whatever happened to it amongst people who admire Jim Morrison's mystique. I think we'll be in a Tarago, actually.
We did have a Kingswood back then at the time, though, didn't we?
And Tony Marnie, he did all our art. He's responsible for a lot of the automobile fetishism, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He had a Monaro.
Yeah, he had a Monaro GDS, yeah.
Yeah. So on a road trip, who decides on the playlist and what's it played on?
CD. We've got a CD player. Yeah. We listen to CDs all the time. We love them.
Yeah, we never stream music in a car, but we do stream
stream
podcasts.
Yeah.
So we love to listen on long drives to
Sizzletown
by Tony Martin and Matt Dower.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Long-running comedy phone-in universe they've created.
Phone-in podcast.
Yeah.
Is there a music artist's music that's more conducive to long trips than others?
Well, I don't know what electric cars would be like, but country music seems to be perfectly EQ'd to exist within the hum of a car at full speed.
Absolutely, or a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they mix it for trucks, actually.
Sounds perfect. You can hear it, and hip hop you can't listen to in a speeding car.
Bassy. Yeah. You lose it. That's an interesting question.
And jazz, when it gets to the bass solo, of course, you can't hear anything.
I don't know if you've noticed, but in my opinions, there is a lot of music that sounds much better on AM radio rather than on FM. Particularly stuff from the 60s and 70s sounds much, much better on AM radio through your car stereo.
When you hear the Rolling Stones Under My Thumb in a car, it just sounds so great with the guitar, bass and marimba all doing that groove.
Yeah. Well, what about roadhouses and cafes? Some of your favorite petrol through the years?
Gundagai is our favorite place to stop over in, and
Niagara
as the Niagara Cafe, which is just a beautiful ambience.
Been redone. It's gorgeous. Been very well done as well.
It's a delightful country town. And one night we stopped there. This is just a couple of years ago, and we went out to get a snack, and there was nobody. There was only one place open, and the RSL had one other couple in there, and it was Nikki Buckley and her partner Murray, who I'd met kind of
on Sale
of the Century many years ago. And then a couple of times they've come to our gigs, and it's like, a Hollywood, couple coming to a juke joint we're playing. So we had a nice night in Gundagai.
You've been in a variety of band rooms. Which venues have had the quirkiest band rooms?
I don't know. What about the one in Katoomba where we're in the pastry kitchen? Was it a
I
chocolate?
think it was
Yeah,
a chocolate factory.
chocolate kitchen. Yeah.
That was delicious.
Sometimes you get in, often there you have to get through the kitchen into them, and since the
Bit like
era
Spinal Tap.
since the era of my kitchen rules and all that, kitchen people are really up themselves, and it's like a West Side Story with two gangs meeting. What are you doing on my
Food and
territory?
music don't mix at all.
We wouldn't mind if it was Keith Floyd, one of the
Mm.
original ones who liked
Or
musical. Graham Kerr,
Graham Kerr,
yes.
yeah, it was nice. The Galloping Gourmet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Gordon Ramsay, of course, hates music because his dad was what he considered a loser rock musician who
Really?
never made it big, and he's always griping about him. Yeah.
And speaking of food and drink, what's been on the rider over the years?
We used to have an enormous rider back in the 90s. It included, for a period, I wasn't drinking. Haven't drunk for about 25 years now, but at that period, I gave up drinking, and yeah, so I put a bottle of Clayton's on our rider, which annoyed our bass player no end because it was taking the place of something actual. Um,
Do they
I don't
still
know.
make Claytons? Is
Yeah,
that
they'd
still?
always bring out a dusty bottle. Um,
Apart from that, it's just beer, really. Beer and water and some wines.
Whenever we play at that place in Cronulla, it's just the
Yeah.
best hospitality.
The Brass Monkey in Cronulla. It's awesome.
Such a great place.
Yeah,
And they treat you so well. There's too much food, isn't
it's
it?
like homemade Lebanese food. It's incredible.
Uh,
But I don't know what else is strange about it. We were happy if they provide.
Yeah, happy with anything, really.
Hecklers, what about hecklers? Do you recall any good heckles or totally annoying people over the years?
Totally
We
annoying.
get heckled a lot in Adelaide, actually, for some reason.
Um, yeah, in Adelaide, I think I was trying to tell a heartfelt story about, uh, um, feeling, abandoned and out of luck, and somebody just yelled out, "Suck it up, Dave," which I didn't think was very sensitive.
They're tough over there.
They feel we feel very at home in South Australia. We're
Mm.
both South Australians.
Well, a lot of
We can tune into them.
a lot of the last album we played, Night of the Wolverine, had a lot of references to places in South Australia, towns, and so every time Dave would mention a town like Keith or something, there'd be people sort of yelling and high-fiving and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that was intense, very intimate.
Yeah, it was.
Once we opened for Nick Cave, this is Claire and me, and I think Stu, a bass player, and we opened for Nick Cave at Dublin Castle in Ireland, and we just walked on. Appearing before Nick, it's like appearing before David Bowie or something. The audience is not interested in anything else. But we wandered on, and this voice just came out of the audience going, "Well, who the fuck are you then?" And I told them who we were, and then we got on quite well after that.
Yeah. Back to the album. You mentioned Jim Morrison before. There's a track, Morrison Floor Show, which I guess was a commentary on the tribute band scene at the time. And you suggested that if Jim Morrison came back, he'd head straight for the Australian Doors show. If he came back today in 2025, where do you reckon he'd go?
Mm.
Well, I think he'd be maybe a tech bro.
Why?
I think he was interested in technology in a way and communication. Yeah, but that song's in a way it fits with the song "Rock and Roll Is Where I'll Hide." They're all about uh, how you appear to people and the way people see you, and when people can't see you, you're kind of powerful. You can see them, but they can't see you, and that kind of thing. And I thought it would be strange if he were to come back and then the best place for him to hide would be as himself. I just thought it was a, a funny thing.
Yeah. Do you think there'll ever be a Dave Graney cover band?
Um, well, somebody suggested AI, talking about AI. I wouldn't mind AI because AI is created by nobody. If they had a Dave Graney kind of thing that was a huge hit and they just gave all the moolah to me, that would be okay.
I think that's the way it works.
Is that the way it works?
No, I do not.
Yeah. That would be very flattering if it happened, but yeah.
We've spoken about how you travel on tour. How does your gear travel? Any mishaps with airport staff or just general wear and tear?
We generally like to drive most between here and Sydney or Adelaide
We
with
are
our
driving
gear.
a bit because we can take our own stuff and we don't have to deal with airports. But yeah, we have lost a couple of guitars over the years that have been run over by something, probably the plane. I don't know. It's amazing sometimes when you get damaged things and you wonder what on earth they've done to it. But it's not too bad.
It has changed over the years. We used to fly in the 90s. There was Ansett and
Qantas.
and Qantas, and we used to drive up to the doors of the airport in my rusted Kingswood and just fling our drum kit and guitars like through the open door. There was no, now it's just horrible going to the airport. There's someone telling you to move on, and
Can't get anywhere near the terminal.
but like a drum kit was luggage, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, we'd take everything on the plane: amps, a Fender Twin, this great big, no, it was a big Marshall stack. I mean, and all of my entire drum kit, including the traps case, everything went on the plane for nothing, for free. Yeah, it was amazing.
Bring back Ansett.
Well, Qantas was like that too. It's just it seems to be that it became very, very popular and accessible because the flight costs went down. Somehow the ticket prices went down, and then too many people were going to the airport, so you couldn't do that anymore, I guess.
There was that band, the Reels, in the 80s. They tried to do a tour of Australia by train called the Reels by Rail. And they used a lot of backing tapes, multi-tracks, and they had a little Bose PA. I don't know how they got on, but it was a great idea.
It's a good idea.
I think that was because there was a bylaw with trains that musicians' instruments were transported free.
Okay.
Tour would have taken a bit longer though, eh?
Yeah. That funny thing between North and South Island of New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
It's free for musicians as long as you do a performance at some
on the ferry. It's still there. Yeah. And even if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you just have to get a guitar out and start doing something.
And what do you both like in that last 15 minutes before you hit the stage? What do you like to do?
We are very much our own thing. Like we have an agent who books our gigs. We do everything.
We're probably checking that we've put everyone on the door list or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have other people to do these things.
Yeah.
So we do all that stuff too.
So we don't meditate or pray or squeeze hunks of meat or anything. Yeah, we just it's just like all musicians. There's a long time between sound check and gig, and you deal with it the best way you can and
just keep a lid on it.
Yeah.
The tour starts on October 3, goes to the end of November. What's happening in 2026?
That's a
Well,
good question.
Claire and I have recorded an album, a real rock album. It's just the two of us doing everything, bass, drums, and guitar. Just been working on it for the last couple of years. We put out 2 albums in 2024, but this is quite a rock album of about 10 songs. Yeah, I'm very happy with it, and we'll probably put out a track in later this year, and then work out how to put out the album next year. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your longevity and all the best with this tour.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Greg.
Thanks a lot, Greg.